happening, loungers? I hope everybody is doing as great as I am today, soaking up this AC, honey, because it is way too hot over here in the East Coast, okay? The index is like 110 degrees out here. I know it's much higher in other places, so make sure that you guys are drinking water, staying cool out here, okay? But, honey, we got some news to get into today. Yes, child. Carlee has, in fact, been charged, okay? So we're going to go over her charges. Also, we got breaking the culture out here, pump faking once again, okay? And for all of y'all who believe that shit, y'all going to have to hold this L, okay? So we definitely going to talk about all that. We're also going to cover two missing Black children, or actually two Black children that were in a situation that Carlee had kind of put herself in. And these children were really in a real life situation like this and ended up in had some bad situations happen. And we're going to cover those two children's stories today. We're not going to talk fully about it, but we will talk about their stories fully in a future true crime video. But we are going to at least mention them today and talk about them and give two examples of why we should not be lying like this, okay? And, what happened with Carlee. And, why we should be taking this very, very serious, okay? So let's go ahead and get into all these shenanigans. Make sure that y'all hit the like button on the way in. And, guys, let's go ahead and get started. What's up, Vici? I appreciate you being in the building. Shout out to you. And Bestie Ray Triggs, I appreciate you coming in the building today. You said, hey to Vici, Jim, checking in from the grave. You wildin'. What's up, Redbone? I appreciate you. You said Redbone with the new money. You said, hey, Miss T. Pre and chat. Definitely appreciate you being in the building. Ray says, hey to my opinion, and also to Redbone. And hey, my opinion, I appreciate you being in the building as well. Also, I appreciate you. And Redbone says, hey to Ray. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get into these shenanigans, okay? Because there was a lot going on today. I think I want to talk about this situation with break-in first, okay? And kind of get that out the way. And then we can go ahead and get into what happened with Carlee, okay? Because there was a lot that happened with her. And I kind of want to touch that and then touch into these other two stories that I want to talk about, which is the reason why we should never play games like Carlee did, okay? But either way, guys, let's go ahead and get into this just a little bit of what was going on with breaking the culture, okay? So apparently, and like I said, I don't really be watching Stargate and all that stuff, so I got to hear what happens through the sector, okay? And what I ended up hearing is that breaking the culture has been running around here for the past few days saying that she want to box eyes and all this other shit, right? Now, I knew that I had talked about this the other day, and I was like, this is old news. Girlfriend know damn well she's not about that life. She really don't want to fight nobody, you know what I mean? She just trying to stay relevant, okay? So at the end of the day, there's so many other ways that she could find to stay relevant, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to trying to do this fuck shit, because she knows she don't want to fight this girl, right? So either way, my thing is this. You claimed and talked about how you going to be showing up, you going to be doing this, and you going to be doing that. You still didn't do it. Eyes went live. She showed up on New York Avenue. She waited for you, talked about you. You got this girl's phone numbers. You got her addresses. You done told the whole sector this, that you got this girl's addresses. You know where she worked. You know where she lived. You know all this stuff. Like, you could have called. You could have popped up. You could have did any of that shit. Yet you chose not to do any of it, right? And here's the thing. I knew you wasn't going to show up any goddamn way. You knew you wasn't going to show up either. So my question is, when are you going to let all this pump faking that you like to do around the sector go? Like, at the end of the day, if you can't find nothing else to be relevant about, then baby, have several fucking seats. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody ain't got to fuck with you. Everybody ain't got to like you. You ain't got to be all extra popular. But every time you get out here and lie and say you're going to do this and you're going to do that, you make yourself look worse and worse every fucking time. It don't make no goddamn sense. Like, we still waiting on me to be charged, right? We still waiting on, let me see your transcripts charges. We still waiting on Daryl Moore's charges. We still waiting on Ray Triggs' receipts on all the lies he done told and all the backdooring he done did to all these people. We waiting on all this shit. And now you done made up a new motherfucking lie. A new motherfucking thing that you gonna go do and that you claim you gonna come out here and do. And you did your no-show all over the motherfucker again. Like, when are you gonna stop playing with the people in this sector, honey? I'm gonna need you to find a life, find something to do. Like, stop taking these little fake ass pictures and acting like you got this great motherfucking life and you doing all this motherfucking shit, but then you got this type of time on your hands. You understand what I'm saying? Like, baby, I'm going to need you to do something much better with your life. There are so many other things you could be doing, like yoga, something. You understand? Like, you got to go out here and find something, okay? Because this ain't working, sis. I mean, obviously, this ain't working, okay? So I'm going to need you to go ahead and get it together. I mean, I'm not sure, what it's going to take for you to do that. I don't know. But I'm not understanding. Maybe you just need to go see a different therapist. Maybe you need a different type of medication. Allegedly, I don't know, okay? But whatever it is, whatever you've been doing, it's not working, okay? It's not working, okay? Now, I'm not trying to drag you and do all this extra shit. I did tell you I don't mind dragging you, but I ain't trying to do all that. But I'm just saying, like, you really making yourself look stupid. You understand? And I really did kind of give you an out the other day. Like, I tried to throw you like a little out, you know what I'm saying? And tell you like, hey, we women, we don't have to be doing all this and be doing all this for the trolls and all that stuff. But girl, you don't know how to pick up on that kind of stuff. You just ignored and bypassed all of that and just went straight for the whole motherfucking cliff and just fell off that motherfucker. Like, you ain't even give a fuck that the cliff was just right in front of you and you about to fall the fuck off this bitch and you literally just fell flat on your motherfucking face off this cliff. Like, honey, be yourself. Like I told you the other day. Stop trying to be something you're fucking not. And one of those things is a tough bitch. You're not that motherfucking bitch, okay? You motherfucking know that. You even told me. This is why I didn't want to keep coming for your ass, because you even told me how you used to get your ass beat when you was in school and all this other stuff. And you had to figure out how to fight back and how to fight and all this other stuff. You told me that, okay? You are not about that life, okay? You're not. I'm aware of this. I know this. You're one of them civilian bitches. This is what you are. You're one of them Karen ass bitches. Listen, go live your Karen ass life, okay? And leave these women alone, okay? Leave these bitches alone, because I'm trying to tell you, you really don't want to see these chicks, okay? And just to let you know, I's cousins, they're here in Delaware, honey, okay? They're not far from me. It's like, they're not, okay? I'm just letting you know. All the people you talking about and all the shit you talking, these bitches live right here, okay? They live right the fuck here, okay? So they closer to you than Eyes is, okay? So if you really, like, you got to pass them to go to Eyes. You understand what I'm saying? You got to pass by me and them to get to Eyes to begin with. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, while you talking all this shit and all this stuff, like, you can stop by Delaware, you know what I'm saying, and do all this stuff you talking and all this shit you talking. Like, you just bringing people names into stuff and pulling people into shit, and you don't even know where the fuck these bitches are that you talking about. You don't even know who these chicks are that you're talking about and just how much in reach you are to them, okay? So, again, bitch, shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down, because you know you don't want that smoke with these chicks. You know you don't, okay? If you did, you would just pop up. Motherfuckers don't, when bitches want to fight a bitch for real, when a bitch really want to fight a bitch, ain't nobody making no plans, signing no contracts. We not doing none of that motherfucking shit, bitch. If you really want to motherfucking fight me, you just gonna pop the fuck up. We gonna go ahead and scrap. One of us gonna lose, One of us gonna win. That's what the fuck is gonna happen. Okay? If that's what you really wanted to do, you would fucking do that. Okay? But you know you fucking don't. Okay? Just like you didn't months ago when Eyes first talked about it. You know that. Me and you had that conversation and what you said about it and how much you said you would be willing to take and the least amount you would be willing to take. So while you got people like Chad T and them jumping out the window talking about, yeah, we only gonna pay $5,000. You wasn't even willing to go with that. You said you wasn't willing to take less than $25,000 for a fucking fight. So you know that, bitch. The fuck you talking about? Like, while you out here pump faking for the sector just so your name can keep running around the sector and your name can keep being mentioned, okay? Like, I wouldn't want my name to keep being mentioned the way your name gets mentioned, okay? Your name gets mentioned because you're always lying. You're always making up some shit. And everybody fucking knows it, okay? So that's not okay. That's not cool. That's not something I would want my name to be attached to, okay? And I suggest you get your shit together. Like, it really ain't that hard. You know what I mean? Like, you at this point, what, you almost 35? Okay? You almost 35 years old, girl. It's time to get your life together, okay? Have you talked to the kids? Have you gotten the kids? While you out here talking about going and fighting Eyes, have you gone and bought Michael some school supplies for his last year of school? Have you did anything as far as making sure that he's good for, you know, football or whatever he plays in high school? Have you done that for your oldest son too, for Aiden? Have you done that? Have you looked at them in their last years in school? Have you checked them out in high school yet this year? No? Okay, because maybe that is what you should be spending your time doing, ma'am, while you sitting up here trying to fight bitches, knowing you don't want to fight bitches, just talking shit to the sector, just trying to stay relevant to the sector, when we already put your ass in the fucking dirt, bitch. Like, that's just what it is, okay? At the end of the day, we're going to need all the old receipts that we've been looking for that, okay? Fuck the Eyes fight, okay? Because we already know you don't want to fight her. We already got the receipt on that. Shout out to Eyes for coming outside and waiting for your dusty ass, okay? And you didn't show up. We knew you wasn't coming. But where's the other receipts? Where are those? Can we get them? No? Okay. Well, either way, until we get them, bitch, you are still irrelevant out this motherfucker, okay? And that's just what the fuck it is. Until we get all these receipts, I need to be charged, okay? The police need to come and break my door down and take my son. We need all the receipts on D. Durrell. He needs to be charged. He needs to be sued. We need Ray Triggs, all the receipts on him. We need Let Me See Your Transcript and Daryl Moore. We need all of the receipts on them being charged and put in jail and jail and everything else. Like, we're going to need all those receipts, ma'am, before you bring up any motherfucking thing else. Okay, that's just it. We don't want to see nothing else. We don't want to hear nothing else until you bring us that. All right? Okay? All right. Now, I know you probably going to go over to Photon or to Chad T, you know, or one of those irrelevant motherfuckers, you know, to try to get them to hype up the situation even more, you know. But either way, like I said, we're going to need that shit, okay? Or an appearance of your kids with you, okay? Not the two that you already got. We talking about the oldest two kids. Maybe we can get a photo op with you and them, okay? Let's do a photo shoot with you and your kids. How about that? There we go. We're going to go and wait for that receipt, okay? And once we get all those receipts, you will be welcomed back into the motherfucking kingdom. As a matter of fact, I'll unblock you. I'll make you a moderator. Every motherfucking thing. As long as we get all of those receipts first, okay? Yes, ma'am. That's what we're going to need, okay? And that's just that. Now, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and get into the chat real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the rest of the show because there is a whole lot more we actually need to get into. That's actually important, okay? And it ain't this goddamn bitch. It ain't this right here, okay? Anywho, y'all, I do appreciate all of you for being in the building. You said, Just checking in from the grave. You said, what's up, my opinion? You said, Redbone with the new money. You said, hey to Ray. You said, Ray Redbone left a couple of folks down there with you. You said, Ray Triggs. You said, Redbone. You said, I'm glad my little shots never go unnoticed. Never, ever, ever. No matter where you are, Vici, I always see your little shots, okay? He said, Vici, you are the best at it, for sure. Definitely, definitely. You said facts. You said, hey, Miss T Pre-Mods in chat. What's up, Miss Murph? Definitely appreciate you being in the building. You said, no, they don't. You said, Miss Murph. You said, Squidward trying to impress AA Mess. Okay, and for what? Because at the end of the day, like, you wasn't coming outside. Like, so, I mean, I don't, nobody's impressed by this. I don't know how Anti would even be impressed by that because you didn't show the fuck up. But what Anti going to try to do to save her now is be like, I told her not to come. Right? I told her not to show up, y'all. That's what she gonna say. You still got your bar license. So as long as you got your bar license, she cannot come back into the kingdom, okay? We're gonna need that too. Because you were supposed to get her bar license taken. Oh, yeah, you gotta call the board on mortgage licensor. All that shit gotta get called. DOT for Triggs gotta get called. We need all this shit, okay? We need all the evidence of all these receipts before we let you back into the kingdom, bitch, okay? That's just it. You said, Ray, the new shit's how did they become the victim? Never mind, okay? You said, we do know it's not the first lie. I'm just saying, okay? We know it's not the first lie. And for those of y'all who hyped this shit up and made this like it was really a thing, I know y'all niggas be trolling. Y'all know I'm trolling y'all too. Shout out to Chad T. Shout out to fucking Photon. I'm trolling y'all niggas, but y'all niggas gonna hold this L, okay? Everybody who was like hyping this shit up and saying, no, we gonna pay $5,000. We gonna get this $5,000. I'm telling me and Samba going back and forth. Samba like, yeah, we gonna settle on $5,000. I'm like, nah, y'all ain't giving up $5,000, $10,000, right? I know damn well I'm playing around too. Everybody fucking playing with this bullshit. But y'all gonna hold that motherfucking L. But really, Breaking holds this L, okay? She gonna be the one that holds this L by herself because she the one that put this shit out here, jumping out the window with this bullshit for something that was talked about almost 2 years ago, okay? And honestly, it never was like this. She didn't say she wanted to fight Breaking the Culture. She was just like, yo, y'all, let's put together a charity boxing match between the ladies in the sector. None of the other ladies wanted to fight. I wasn't boxing her. And then Carrie Ann said she wasn't boxing her. All the women was like, nah, we ain't into that. Breaking was the only one that was like, I'll box. I'll be the one. Yeah, I'll get up. I'm gonna do it. I'm already a boxer. I trained. She put up this picture of her looking like Rocky and shit and act like, you know what I mean? She that bitch. So everybody was waiting for it. Breaking is the one behind the scenes that was like, I need $25,000 and it's got to be at, well, first she was like, she was cool with it being at whatever ring LV was talking about. And then she was like, no, it's got to be in my ring. And then it went to, I'm just not fighting her at all because she want a street fight. She don't really want to box and she don't want this. And so she was just like, she don't want to do it. That's what Breaking said. So I don't know what the fuck she talking about. Somebody scared, somebody running. It was her that didn't want to set it up and didn't want to come out there. But she was talking all this shit and talking about she'll come punch a bitch in the mouth and come do this. But then when Eyes was like, okay, we'll pull up. Then she was like, nah, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. I don't want no problem. I don't want no beef. This bitch been lying since she been in the fucking sector. But anyway, we're going to need all them motherfucking receipts, ho, for you to be, elected back into the kingdom, bitch, okay? I don't know whose other kingdom you allowed in, but you can stay on over there, okay? We over here, honey. You said that mouth, keep writing a check, her ass can't cash, okay? All the goddamn time she be doing this shit. It don't make no motherfucking sense. No matter where she go, too, at that. What's up, Cher Witty? You said anti-twin, okay? Don't make no motherfucking sense, man. You said, Miss Murph, I want their shits anymore. However, some do. Right, exactly. And you said some do watch. You said, I support T Pre. I support you too, Pills. And shout out to you for being in the building. You said Screech stays getting dragged. Okay. What's up, Nick? Appreciate you. You said facts 100. You said Nick LOL. You said Mike CC was on the damn table after that. You said, damn, my opinion, mine saved to all airlines app. Word. You said they have the same name, share Witty. Okay. Don't make no sense. You said, woo. You said, if they only knew, child. You said, damn, my opinion, it makes it even easier when you have connections. Okay. What's up, Code Fam? Appreciate you being in the building. What's up? You said, what's up, T Pre in chat? You said, Redbone, just because I said you do. Word, word, word. You said, damn, my opinion. You said, what, who, etc. You said the Triggs receipts were valid at least. You know what? You know what? And I know your dumb ass came over here just to say that, okay? Now, how were these goddamn receipts valid? I've already broken down those receipts and showed how they weren't, okay? Perhaps you missed it while you paid for membership for a month, right? You should have checked out the public videos because I know you were looking for something y'all can hold against me, right? But no, honey, okay? I'm not dumb, okay? So I know that there's a lot of y'all that like to snoop around in the members only to see if I'm talking about one of y'all and y'all have some actionable shit you can hold against me. I'm not a dummy, okay? No. Okay. No, you should be looking at the public videos, okay? Because I actually broke that down like fully on how that was not a valid receipt at all. Okay. So you can go back and take a look at it. Make sure you check out the Vixen Chronicles. There's several videos in there, and in there is where that receipt is, and it is fully debunked that is definitely not a valid receipt. That Triggs receipt about Teresa and all of them, that was fake as fuck. And I showed exactly how it was fake as fuck. Sorry. Try again, bro. Try again. But I love you. You know you're my bro. You said, wow. You said folk over here, but be talking shit about the host. Okay, don't make no goddamn sense. But it's all good. Valid, huh? I already broke that down. Y'all remember when I broke that shit down. Binary can keep talking out the side of his mouth. If he wants to. You said, speak for yourself, darling, okay? You said, Ray. You said, Star and Breaking was talking greasy last night. I'm pretty sure they was. I don't know why y'all keep tuning into these dusty hoes. Me, I was probably asleep, you know what I mean, when these bitches was not even taking a shower, not taking care of their kids, and on here talking about everybody else while they shit is all fucked up. You know how these dusty bitches are. I mean, it is just what the fuck it is. You said, Ray. You said, I was going to prove her last lie on me, keeping her backstage of my live was a lie, but I'm tired of proving her wrong. Right. It's just, at this point, you know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers that's entertaining it, they want to be entertaining it. They know goddamn well these bitches be lying. Like, that's just what it is. And you know how this sector was. This sector, it's growing away from that. A lot of us are growing away from it. But the sector was at one point where you could just say whatever you wanted about people and everybody just believed you and just went with it. There's probably a handful of people that's still doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of the sector is just not. They're not. And the ones that are still doing it are looking really dumb while they're doing it. Like, but let them go ahead and keep, being great. Let them do what they do. They the dummies. You said, Pillsbury, I heard folk don't listen. They're their fault, right? Okay. You said facts, Teresa. You said, Ray, the shit's old. You have proven over and over. Facts. 100. Nobody giving a fuck what these niggas talking about. You said, Ray, why I said what I said. I don't do all that lying and shit. Okay? Facts. You said some folks don't remember how that went down. Okay, apparently, or they don't want us to remember how that went down. Well, we most definitely fucking remember. Okay, and I'll show it again if we got to. Respect. What's up, Very Perspectives? Appreciate you. You said respect to Black Lounge. You said shout out to Black Lounge Divine T Pre. I appreciate you for being in the building. You said, okay, see yous. You said, now I'm still a member. Oh, no, you just came back. Oh, thank you, co-fam. I appreciate you being a member. You want to see what I drop next, right? It ain't going to be no fuck shit because all my membership stuff is actually going to be true crime stuff. So you guys will be seeing a lot of that stuff coming out. But yeah, I know people be coming over here trying to be nosy and see what actionable shit they can use and shit. You said, wow, I knew Binary was a spy. Okay, I got a couple of them around here. We're going to leave them right where they are because I love them anyway. It don't even matter. So they can pay their $10 a month. Okay, it's cool. He said, Breakin has said before that she talks a lot of ish, so only believe what actually comes to fruition. Exactly. Because she's a goddamn liar, okay? She just lies about every goddamn thing. She even lied about the kids that's tattooed on her body. Like, ain't this some shit? He said, Pills, he working behind the memberships, okay? You said, only a fool that gets their livelihood snatched from their soul would believe BS, okay? On God, honey. On God, child. You said, Triggs, LOL. What's up, Glow? I appreciate you for being in the building. You said, Miss T. Prizzy. Appreciate you. All right, listen, y'all. Look, we had enough of these hoes, okay? I'm done talking about these bitches for real. I want to go ahead and get into this Carlee story because there's a lot going on with her. And then we're going to talk about two children. There's two missing children that, well, they're not missing. One of them is missing. The other one has actually been pronounced dead. There was a funeral and everything for her. And her name is Georgia Lee Moses. And then we're going to talk about Jalik Rainwalker as well. Okay. But we're first going to get into this whole thing going on with Carlee and the fact that she has been arrested, y'all. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and grab a water or whatever you're going to do because I'm about to grab me a water. We're going to take a 1-minute timer and we will be right back to the shenanigans, guys. All right, guys. So let's talk about this chick because she ain't locked up now. She did post bail, but she did turn herself in, and there was a whole big thing today. There was, in fact, a news conference today in regards to this situation where they did announce charges against Carlee Nicole Russell, which is the nursing student who was reported missing after calling 911 and claiming that she saw this white toddler walking along the interstate, okay? Now, during the press conference, the Hoover Police Department also announced that Russell has been charged with filing a false police report and filing a false statement, both of which are, in fact, misdemeanors, okay? Now, she did turn herself in before the press conference and was released on $2,000 bond, $1,000 for each charge. Now, this announcement comes about a day after the Jefferson County Chief Assistant District Attorney Lane Tolbert told Fox News Digital that authorities were expecting to charge Russell with false reporting to law enforcement and authorities and law enforcement and falsely reporting an incident. So the maximum punishment for these charges is up to 1 year in jail for each of them. Okay. Now, police did say during the press conference that they know people all over the country are just kind of shocked and appalled by this whole thing, and that Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors, right? Like everybody kind of wants to see her really get hammered down into the ground over this and go to jail, over this whole thing. And, I'm on the fence about it. I can't say that I really want her to go to jail over this, right? I do want to say, though, and point out, that there are so many children that go missing or actually end up in trafficking situations and such. You know, and there are Black children that this happens to. I mean, white children and everybody's children, but, you know, we're going to talk about our children for a minute because our children aren't watched. We're not looked after as much as other demographics are. Well, they don't look for us as much as they do look for, you know, others. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen to white children as well, because it does, right? I've run across a lot of these true crime cases, and I've seen a lot of things. And one of the things that I have seen is that there are white children that this happens to as well, okay? But particularly, this does happen with Black children, okay? And I'm going to talk about 3 cases in particular. One of them I don't have a screenshot for, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it because I actually first heard about it last night. Shout out to Gerald Jackson, the baddest blogger, okay? I'm going to put a link to the video in my description box so you guys can go over there and check out this story as well, okay? This story is crazy about what happened with this chick. And it kind of put me in the mindset of what's happening with Carlee and what's happening with this girl and why authorities act like it's okay to not take us serious, okay? And then I'm going to talk about the other children that are in serious situations, okay? So Carlee's situation was terrible because of the magnitude of the lies that she told. If she had just kept it between her and her family or her and the boyfriend and never got the public involved in this, you know, that would really be their issue, right? It would be something that they would need to work out. None of us would know about it, and none of us would be impacted by it. But it's the fact that she had lied about it and then used the resources of the system to try to make that to try to push that lie even further. And all of this was because of issues that she was experiencing with the boyfriend or the ex-boyfriend now, okay? Because he has now spoken out about this, openly spoken about this. His family has spoken about it, and they are all appalled by what happened. I mean, he was being honest and saying he can't believe she went this far, okay? So, and I do believe him. And, you know, Carlee has admitted that, you know, hey, nobody else had nothing to do with this. This was all her. This was all in her head, you know, and nobody else is involved, okay? And I believe that too. I really do. And I want to talk about this young lady who's in Houston, okay? Now, there's a young lady in Houston, and this story is just breaking. So you guys can look this up. Like I said, I will put a link to the baddest bloggers link in my chats or in my comment section so you guys can go look for yourself. But either way, there's this young lady in Houston, Texas, who just recently had a baby. The baby's almost 2 months old now. She asked her brother in Indiana, it's a Black woman, asked her brother in Indiana to come and get the baby, okay? She told the brother the reason why is because she is on drugs really bad. She's on crack really bad. And she said she just cannot take care of this baby. She needed him to come and get her baby until she can get herself together. She told her brother, has this all in text messages and everything, that she needs to get her life together. She can't keep doing all this stuff. And so he did. He came down to Texas, and he said she met him at the airport with the baby. She drove to the airport. This is her brother's story. She drove to the airport with the baby on her lap while smoking the crack, okay? Opened the windows. Crack smoke is coming all out the windows. She just hands the baby right to her brother, right out the window. The brother's crying like, why, what's wrong with you? I think her name is LaQuisha or Laquita or something like that. And he's like, why would you do something like, with this baby? Took the baby. He's got the baby. He's had the baby for about 11 to 12 days. I think it's about 12 days now. He's had the baby. And him and his wife went and tried to file for emergency custody of the baby. They had to go take the baby to the doctor, do different things to try to get this baby help because this baby was shaking and had the shakes and all this other stuff. Come to find out, according to the brother, the sister, the mother of the child has like 5 other children, okay? And those children also were all taken from her. And those children all live with her mom, okay? Her mom is on Instagram because this girl is on Instagram trying to say now she wants her baby back. She had told her brother, she had called her brother a few days ago and said, hey, can y'all bring the baby back to Indiana because he has a WIC appointment and I want to go get his milk for him. And he was like, he don't need no milk. I got milk for him here. I'm not about to bring him all the way from Indiana back to Texas just for you to take him to a WIC appointment and you want crack. You're just trying to get that milk so you can sell it so you and your man can have some drugs. That's the only reason you want me to bring him back. No, I'm not doing that. So that's when she took to social media and started saying that her brother and his wife kidnapped her baby. Okay. So the questions are, and I was kind of mad at the baddest blogger for this because usually he asked very tough questions. He seemed to be asking those tough questions to the wrong people this time. Okay. And in this particular time, he was asking the tough questions to the brother, his wife, but the mother was on the line and he wasn't asking her or the baby dad any tough questions. Okay. He was just like, yeah, well, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. The only thing he asked was, how come there was never an Amber Alert for this baby? Right. That was the only thing he asked. And I want to know that too. Why was there no Amber Alert put out for this baby? Okay. If the baby is allegedly missing and he's allegedly stolen her child, right? How come she hasn't gotten in touch with the police about this? How come the Houston police don't have a police report? There's no information on it or nothing. It was just her jumping on Instagram and talking trash. And then her mom got on the same post and was like, she lying, like I got all her kids and I got all this and this. And, none of this stuff is true. Just let me know what y'all think about that. But it's just amazing how these kinds of things are really happening in our community, right? These kinds of situations where people are exaggerating stories or they're making up stuff or they're really doing some fuck shit, with their kids and whatnot, and then turning around and acting like they're the victim in the situation. What do we do about those kinds of things? And then we've got, law enforcement that doesn't want to take us serious because we've got this kind of stuff happening. You understand what I'm saying? And I really want that to sink into our community because we have actual children that are really missing. We have actual children that really have been trafficked. And we're going to talk about two of those children today. One of them's name is Georgia Lee Moses, okay? And I'm going to tell you guys her story. I'm going to tell you briefly her story. And then we're going to do an actual true crime video on her in the future, okay? Because there's an entire story behind this. There are some persons of interest now about this, but there hasn't been much that has made it to mainstream media. You can find this story on YouTube and in some other places, but mainstream media generally has not spoken of this, okay? So we're going to talk about this story very briefly, and then we're going to talk about another kid. So this I've gotten from Reddit. I'm just going to read this post from Reddit in regards to this. And like I said, I'm going to do a full-length video on this story in the future. But Georgia was only 12 years old at the time of her murder. Her sister and brothers all say that she was a very kind soul and often described her as an old soul and would always put others first. She was very dedicated to being the best sister she could be for them, often spending a lot of her time with Angel, who is her younger sister, who she was very protective over. Now, Angel is still currently looking for her sister, and she is spearheading an entire campaign to look for her sister. I will put a link to the website in my description box so you guys can go and take a look as well. Okay, and like I said, I will do a future video on this in regards to that. Now, Angel believes, and it's most likely true, that Georgia was a victim of sex trafficking. She had been living away from her sister and mother after being kicked out by her stepfather, Eddie, okay? And I will get into that entire story in the future. That is a really ridiculous story. It is awful what happened to Georgia and what happened to Angel. And the state failed those kids. There's so many people that failed these children, but we will get into that story in the future. So on the night she went missing, which was August 13th, 1997, and it is presumed that she has been killed, Earlier in the day, she was visiting with Angel, which is her sister. Angel describes that during a walk, a man approached Georgia and asked her for her pager. Georgia told her sister to go ahead of her and gave the man her pager. After he gave it back, she walked with Angel back to Eddie and their stepdad and mother's house. After Georgia left her sister's company, she went to her friend's house. The friend says that while she was there, Georgia received a page and asked to use the phone. She called whoever had paged her, and then a man in a white car picked her up, and that was the last time that she was seen alive. Her disappearance would go unreported until 9 days later, when Angel, who was 7 at the time, told Child Protective Services that her sister was missing. The same day, a body would be located off the highway of 101, and on the 26th of August, the body would be identified as Georgia. So Angel is asking for anyone with information that may have regarding the murder of her sister, and I will go ahead and put a link to that website below. Okay, you can also call Crime Stoppers in regards to this as well if you do know any information about it. But again, I will do a thorough video on this story because this is a story definitely worth telling. Okay, now let's talk about another kid, and then we're actually going to end the show here. This is a kid named Jalik Rainwalker. Okay, now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about his story, and then again, I'm also going to do a full-length video on Jalik's story in a future true crime video. Okay, so be looking out for that, guys. Now, in 2002, Rainwalker was placed in foster care. He's been in foster care all his life. Okay, his mother was on drugs when he was born, and he has been in foster care his entire life. He would be 28 years old now if he is still alive. But in 2002, Rainwalker was placed in foster care with Stephen Kerr, and Jocelyn McDonald, and their other children. Kerr and McDonald officially adopted Rainwalker in 2003, and everything seemed to go well until he made one comment to his therapist one day. What he told the therapist sparked an investigation with Child Protective Services to determine the safety of Rainwalker, as well as other children in the home. But Child Protective Services did nothing to protect him in the end. One report indicates that a week prior to his disappearance, McDonald contacted a crisis hotline and stated that Rainwalker had become unmanageable. Now, this is a kid, a 12-year-old, okay? And they wished to reverse his adoption. Instead, the family was instructed to put Rainwalker in what's called respite care. And I will tell you guys more about that in his video, okay? To give the family members a break from each other, and that is what they did. Jalik Rainwalker was reported missing the day after Kerr picked him up from the respite care. He was last seen on November 1st, 2007, eating dinner at Red Robin in Latham, New York, with his adoptive father, Stephen Kerr. Rainwalker allegedly spent the night with Kerr in his parents' home in Greenwich, New York, later that night. According to Kerr, when he woke up, Rainwalker was gone. He allegedly left an alleged note that stated that he had run away and would no longer be a bother. He has not been seen since that day, guys. Okay. Now, there is a note. I have seen the note. There is information in regards to the note, and I will get all the way into that once we do his story. Okay. But make sure that you guys do hit the like button on the way out because I'm actually about to end the show. Let me go ahead and check out you guys' comments real quick. I definitely appreciate everybody who has been checking out the show today. You said she got the attention she was asking for and made a mess of her life moving forward. Most definitely. You said, how does she say he took possession of the child? Right. That's crazy. You said, thanks for watching, everyone. Please like, share, subscribe to Black Lounge Divine. I definitely appreciate that. You said the Amber Alert system is so messed up. You know, I want to tell you guys about that because there were people, and this was the baddest blogger. He was saying this last night too about this child I was telling you guys about in Houston. He was saying the thing about the Amber Alert, but I want you guys to know this child right here, Jalik Walker, is one of the children who an Amber Alert never went out for this child. Do y'all hear me? An Amber Alert never went out for this child right here, Jalik. Let me show you Georgia. An Amber Alert never went out for Georgia Lee Moses either. Okay? And she went missing in 97. And he went missing in 2007. Okay? So Amber Alerts have been around since the 80s. I want to say 1984 is when that little girl Amber went missing in New Jersey. I want to say it was 82 or 84, something like that. And that is how the whole idea of Amber Alerts came around. So this has been around for a long time. So when they tell you that an Amber Alert goes out every time a child goes missing, that's not true. Okay? Because this child in particular, Jalik, there was no Amber Alert for this child. And people are heated about that. And I'm definitely going to talk about that. And there was no Amber Alert out for her either. Okay? So that is definitely not always a thing. So yeah, it's a shame that, you know, this actually happens like this, and that system is so disgusting and so messed up, because it doesn't work for everybody, you know, and that's unfortunate. You said very perspectives, what it do, bro. Yeah, this is really sad, isn't it? Yes, it is. Pills, I appreciate that. And guys, I appreciate all of you for coming out. Again, make sure that y'all do hit the like button on the way out. You said when it comes to certain ethnic groups, the Amber Alert is not guaranteed. Facts. 100. Okay, so we got to be the Amber Alert, right? That's the crazy part about it. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all of you for being in the building. Make sure that y'all do hit the like button on the way out. And guys, I will talk to y'all later. And peace, guys. Let's go ahead and put up prayers for these families, and let's get some justice for these kids. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, guys. Thank y'all for watching.